So I'm going to just take a moment to compose myself because I was going to get ready for bed. I sometimes go to bed kind of early for my time zone because of what's been going on in my life and the time I wake up. And I just noticed, again, how horrified I was by the behavior of what seemed to be personnel from the NSA's Blue Moon Group and their Black Monks program. And you described in a previous video how this out of control military program is, in the way it seems to be implemented right now, is a fundamental danger to our civil liberties, where they could just go into your home and apply like a psychic driving, where I don't want to call it like mind control. But they don't seem to have adequate supervision from non-human personnel. And there have been insiders who've, like people who entered Groom Lake, or people who identified themselves as having entered Groom Lake, who had security clearances, like clearance workers, who were credible about the topic, it seemed to me, who talked about their time in Groom Lake working with the non-human personnel. And I'm not sure why the Black Monks program of the NSA's Blue Moon Group does not have adequate supervision. Maybe do non-human personnel feel endangered to approach the Black Monks program? Oh, sorry, I just... and these can't be funny videos. I think somebody's hoping Brian does like a funny haha video, and what they're going to get in our government, and I think what they're going to get is maybe I managed to do one thing that's funny So lately I've made it like a goal that I could do one thing that makes me laugh every day, or try to find one thing that makes me laugh every day, even if I feel serious for the remaining 6 hours of the workday. I've in previous videos I've described kind of a life experience I've had, and I feel like I used to have a sense of humor, and it's not quite like life has destroyed my sense of humor. I just feel like that there's been a lack of respect for my boundaries by personnel from the Black Monks program at the NSA's Blue Moon Group, and I don't understand why they don't have adequate supervision from non-human personnel or from other parties. So, where I was gonna go here, you can see it's not a real mess here. I'm just such a real mess here. I'm just rearranging my apartment. Just rearranging my apartment today, and I feel like this is not an ideal camera angle. It'll have to work. I just wanted to unwind before bed, but I'm really stressed out right now because I noticed the psychic presence of the Black Monk from the NSA's Blue Moon Group. And for those who don't know me, I'm an extraterrestrial contactee from Portland, Oregon, who's also had experience with synthetic telepathy technology, which is widely deployed in our military. I need to find a new document to help introduce people to synthetic telepathy technology. Don't know if I should offer one of my own. That's just an introduction to the technology and how it works. I think I've written about it on one of my blogs before. I should maybe link that one that had some background information about it, if I could remember. And I'm just grateful to be alive after the kind of encounter I've had with the Black Monks program of the Blue Moon Group. And again, the kind of technology they've developed in the Blue Moon Group doesn't seem to be able to be deployed responsibly. It doesn't seem to be being deployed responsibly. It seems to be an irresponsible deployment of the technology. And what we're on par here for in our country with synthetic telepathy technology is somebody who doesn't like civil liberties very much is on the way to try to create like the worst kind of totalitarian nightmare state by stealth here in the United States of America, using synthetic telepathy technologies, using psychotronics technologies. And I feel like the personnel from the NSA's Blue Moon Group are enabling like the worst kind of totalitarian nightmare to take root here in the United States of America. And so, for the last couple of months, I've had encounters with personnel from the NSA's Blue Moon Group. I can't look around my apartment right now without thinking about the encounters. And I've had at least a dozen unfortunate encounters with the NSA's Blue Moon Group. I encountered the NSA Black Monks program Blue Moon Group, unfortunate behavior on a number of occasions. And with apologies to how synthetic telepathy technology works for civilians in our country, you can't just be like, it can't be how we're still America, how this is still the United States of America when, hey, you civilian, you get a military dictator because I don't like your ideas about politics. I'm sorry to bring politics into this at all. With I was told the NSA's Blue Moon Group was a very heavily Republican-involved, Republican-backed project because of like the shock and awe factors that are supposed to be there at the Blue Moon Group, and you know, the people. I don't think people can be too. After the experience I've had over the last couple of months, I don't think people can be too harsh on the NSA's Black Monks program, the Blue Moon Group. If I heard somebody say the Black Monks program of the Blue Moon Group was one of the most, it was possibly among the most dangerous to us as Americans in our civil liberties and our lives, I wouldn't call that hyperbole. I'd say that's right on par. I don't want to say what they do is completely deniable. I don't think it's completely deniable. I don't think it's absolutely completely deniable to everyone else in our government. And at any rate, I got kind of off topic when I was thinking about the non-human personnel of Groom Lake. So I don't know. Because insiders with security clearances, unlike myself, I'm just a civilian with no security clearance, have encounters with synthetic telepathy technology, which is used in clearance work kind of situations. Whew. And I need to talk about my spirit work at times like this because people can be really confused when they encounter a technomancer. And if you can't believe that like a spirit can be real who's like a technomancer, I'm so sorry. Because I would say to myself that I could sense spirit is right here with me. I can sense spirit's right here with me, and when I'm having a challenging day, I'm not sure what to do, I connect with my spirit guides, and sometimes they have competing ideas about what to do, and it's good to check with them. And I cannot underemphasize how when I'm sensing the black monk from the Blue Moon Group what I was told was synthetic telepathy technology is deployed within the NSA's Blue Moon Group, and that's not how I encountered synthetic telepathy technology. Was through the official operations of the NSA's Blue Moon Group. Doesn't seem to be the case. And with the technomancer, got off topic about the technomancer because I'm so wound up about the NSA's Blue Moon Group and the repeated violations of my civil liberties. Because if I had done this, never mind, I went over that in the previous video, never mind, because I think a technomancer can sometimes make people who don't believe in spirits to be really confused, where they might believe that a time traveler is right there in another timeline. Because in my worldview, how I understand things, two days from now, where I am at this exact space-time, Earth's going to have moved over there. And there could be like another vehicle just sitting right here going like, well, Brian, I wanted to time travel for whatever reason they're time traveling. I sent it for time travel for whatever reason I'm time traveling. And what are the offsets? What are the differences in Earth's orbit? Here we go. And time travel is real to me. I believe in time travel with apologies to the situation. And so I was really wound up at bedtime. I don't want to quite call it a bedtime debriefing because of the behavior of a Blue Moon Group member toward me. And I don't want to go into detail, but I feel violated by the Blue Moon Group member, and I feel like the Blue Moon Group member demonstrated uncontrolled aggression toward me. I remember in what I've learned about the military, I'm just going to take a moment here, that if someone on your unit doesn't have controlled aggression, then they're going to be a liability to your unit. And why? Because if the Blue Moon Group has non-human personnel, like Groom Lake has been reported to be in major videos with tens of thousands of views at least by people who had security clearances. Sorry, I almost thought I noticed the technomancer again, and Technomancers and technomancy can make people who try not to believe in souls really confused. They can make them believe that like a person is right there with like a piece of advanced technology touching you in ways that something like the non-human personnel could actually do. And I'm just worried about what's going on there. How somebody's going to go, look how non-human personnel have. Here we go with how people are going to construe what's going on there. So my sincere belief is that a technomancer can make people really confused. That it's especially people that try not to believe in spirits or souls. Truly agnostic people who don't believe in spirits and souls might have a technomancer experience and go, was the time traveler really right here touching me with a mind control device? I don't understand what's really going on there. And they might not be able to cogitate what's going on there in the same way I do because I don't have the same understanding of the universe as them. And they're that's a very influential audience in certain. That's a very influential audience in online circles that sometimes assist the Blue Moon Group and so I'm almost ready to get out one of my crystals and kiss them and be like, thank you for being alive, because I'm worried about people out there with synthetic telepathy technology who give up hope on life. And I've heard that there are sometimes people out there with this technology that I've been involved with that just give up hope on life. That's like, oh, life is over. And I don't feel like life is over because I feel like Spirit helps give me control over my own life. I feel like Spirit helps me still have control over my own life despite how powerful psychotronics technology can be over people's behavior. And certainly the psychic driving from the Blue Moon groups. It seemed like the Black Monk had like this externally installed psychotronics technology on a Black Monk at the Blue Moon group. Oh dear. And I don't think one of the Black Monks used it responsibly or ethically, but I don't know how I could tell if this is just like a biological automaton, like a programmed life form, I think they're called in some audiences, that have, you know, you just take like a clone, grow it in a vat, put like a bunch of body parts on it. So it seemed like a real person with cybernetics. Seems like a real NSA cybernetics program gone so wild that if the non-human personnel are afraid to approach it because they're small, I'll be sorry. So I know it'd be my guess about the non-human personnel of Groom Lake, and I'm trying to do the Jawa or Ewok music in my mind about this. I'm sorry about Star Wars and how people understand the reality. I know somebody wants to make the Groom Lake non-human personnel to Tusken Raiders and not Ewoks. Here we go. With they seem more like Ewoks to me. I don't want to make them Jawas because sometimes we go with the Jawas. And so I'm so glad I tried to connect with Spirit in my time. I had kind of an agnostic phase in my 20s. Until I remember something that happened in my late 20s. Until I remember something that happened early in my 20s. I went, oh yeah. That's going to have like a psycho-spiritual explanation that my sweatpants on still from being out exercising. And there's some, and I felt like there was a psycho-spiritual explanation for something I experienced in my 20s. When I thought back to my childhood around age 10 or 7, I went, that is a psycho-spiritual experience too. And something I'm really grateful for in my family of origin is that they didn't try to force religion on me. Even if they, not both. Well, I'm actually going on my family life right now, and believe in your children, parents out there. Believe in your children that your children can teach you so much. Because I just thought I sensed mighty Thor. Sometimes someone's mighty Thor to me. Oh, mighty Thor. Yeah, the Norse gods are real to people. The Norse gods are real to people, and that's part of what led me to my agnostic phase is, the religions don't add up. Maybe I should just be like agnostic about it. And people's cognitive experience is still real to them. Like people who summon the gods, who experience the gods, who experience spiritual presences, it's real to them. And just, And in my mind, I don't ever see like Thor fighting the angels. But I know in pure pagan homes, he'll help pagans thunder go, why are you Christian? It's usually Christians. It's usually not Jews or Masons when I'm thinking about other spiritual practitioners who work with angelic beings. But I know Thor, the Norse gods, will help people in their homes thunder, why are you asking more and more and more of me? Are we having any reciprocity in this relationship? Which is, of course, fair for Christians to ask. It would be fair for Christians practicing to ask each other. And I don't think Enochian Angel Druid is a hat I can wear in life. I originally found... Oh, where'd it go? It's over here. It's over here. Hang on a second. I originally found contact with spirits of the Druid Order when I found this amazing book. This amazing book helped me start a spiritual undertaking in my life. It's like a witch's Bible by Stuart Farrar. I hate what's going on. I don't love what's going on with the light of my laptop, but I love this book. And it's everything that's not pure Christian witchcraft, because it brings me right to witch Jew magic and the Kabbalah, where you can summon the angels that are real to Christians. And I didn't learn about the Druid Christians from this book. Like, a spirit actually appeared to me. A spirit actually appeared to me that spoke to me of the Druid Christians and said, right, there's actually... Druids are also Christian, because, like I was just saying, through the tools I gained from this book, I learned how to start summoning spirits. And I began summoning spirits after having something of an agnostic phase and recovering my memory. And I because you can summon the same angels that are real to Jews or Christians or Muslims through the tools of Holy Kabbalah. I kind of started my journey there. I learned the tools of Holy Kabbalah through this book also. It recommends, the author recommends, where is that? It's right here in the collection. The author also recommends this fine book. This fine book, which I'm sure, true occultists will say should be banned. But true occultists might tell you The Mages by Francis Spirit should be banned, for the spiritual power can help you give yourself the spiritual tools you can get yourself. It's not the most accessible read on the Kabbalah because of the script, but it can really help you get started with the Holy Kabbalah, which some call Jewish witchcraft. And how is that a bad thing, though? If you could counter it, here we go with Christians and witchcraft of Christians, because then through Jewish witchcraft, if you could know, like, an archangelic being through an archangelic summoning, then through witchcraft you can know God, some will say. Because if the archangel's there, then truly the God must be with you, even if also the gods are real to you, which is one of the conundrums the Druids wrestle with. And Stuart Farrar, who wrote this book, is a Druid. Not every witch is a Druid, but some will say all Druids are guilty of witchcraft. So, I think when I think of the Druid Christians, the first that enters my mind is Winston Churchill, where he was both a Druid and a Christian, like Queen Elizabeth II. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. And so, something of a tangent, and I'm just grateful I undertook the spiritual undertaking before I got older. It's really helped me feel the spirit guides that I've helped someone in my life help me feel like I'm taking control of my own life. I don't feel like my life's out of control, like a bunch of strangers don't want to see being bad bosses to me. As here we go with my thoughts returning to the Black Monks program at the NSA's Blue Moon Group again, where I go, somebody at the, here we go with how we get to choose our own bosses in America, and how we're briefed about our experiences, if at all, or debriefed about our experiences, if at all. And I just really, really resent the behavior of the Black Monks program at the Blue Group again at this time. And I lost my train of thought because I was just looking at this lovely book. I don't know if I could include a referral link right now. And the gods are with me now. And one of the things that really kept me in this book is to kind of resolve the apparent contradictions. It kind of, if not resolve them, it kind of helped me address the apparent contradictions in the different spiritual systems, like the differences in the spiritual systems that led me to be agnostic in the first place. And go, instead of trying to reconcile the contradictions, I just started to going the psychic reality of these presences in spiritual people's lives is real to them. How does that work for them? How do they get in contact with these spirits? How do they become real to them? And when I think of people who call them imaginary friends, I go, no, that's not imaginary friends. I always want to talk about the work of transdimensional stagecraft at the NSA. That's an unacknowledged special access program, and through transdimensional stagecraft, sometimes interdimensional signatures are analyzed, where, like a being like a transdimensional interstellar, they might be called an extraterrestrial, might be identified from an interdimensional signature. Yeah, my understanding was transdimensional stagecraft can act on it's going to act on a spectrum of human experience that intersects with spirit. And I'm sorry I don't have a brief video about transdimensional stagecraft out there. I don't know anybody who talks about it other than Stephen Greer of Serious Disclosure. I don't know if I should link their channel, because, well, I know there's a lot of controversy around Dr. Greer and his work. Transdimensional stagecraft seems real to me. I don't think it's just some psyop that Dr. Greer is promoting to pad his wallet. And I don't think it's just something he made up. I don't think he's a mentally unwell person who's just gained internet notoriety, even if even if people out there disagree with him sometimes, even if he's a very controversial figure. He's spoken about something that seems real to me in transdimensional stagecraft, and it's what I was informed of. I obviously, not a clearance worker, wasn't officially briefed, is that it can measure these interdimensional signatures that sometimes correspond to people's religious experience, spiritual experience. And so, I want to take a deep breath and compose myself, because I thought I sensed a program I associate with the NSA's Blue Moon Group, and the way they seem to currently be deploying their technologies is so dangerous to our fundamental liberties as citizens. I cannot understate, after experiences I had today, and after experiences I've had intermittently for the last couple of months, what a danger the Black Monks program of the NSA Blue Moon Group seems to be to our civil liberties right now. The way the Blue Moon Group member behaved toward me is enough to light anyone's soul on fire and make them go, "How dare you? This is." How dare you? This is. What could be created through the NSA's Black Box program and their technologies would be the stuff of the most nightmarish science fiction. And I know Spirit has been there with me to help me keep me grounded in reality, in a way, this experience. And so when people, that's what got on the transdimensional stagecraft tangent, is when people call spiritual presences imaginary friends, transdimensional stagecraft is proving that wrong. They're going, no, I mean, the spirit was summoned, the interdimensional signature did appear, and the spirit is what I understood some of the research. Obviously, I'm not, just going to itchy here, to kind of just not privy to the research person, not a person who's read the research notes or any kind of research logs, research data, just from what I've heard. And obviously they can't sue the non-human personnel. Obviously with the non-human personnel, so I was to understand there's non-human personnel at the transdimensional stagecraft, like the way there seemed to be with Groom Lake, the way insiders have said there are in Groom Lake in Nevada. No tourism matter known by the name Area 51. And I'm sorry, I'm starting to remember which insiders right now. They're actually also on the Serious Disclosure channel discussing that. Sometimes contactees who've gone into Serious Disclosure circles go out onto the rest of the internet. They encounter other contactee circles, interact with other contactee circles, and that's happened with others who've encountered the materials. So, if maybe I should call it an evening debriefing, even though I wasn't officially briefed on these technologies. Maybe I should call this my evening debriefing. And for those who don't know me, I understand myself as a telepathic person. It sense at least three fellow telepaths are aware of me. And I'm wondering if there's anything else I need to expound upon in this video. It almost looks like that damn ghost. I saw that damn ghost there. All right, because with that one, I gotta be ready to get the broom and just like chase him out with the side of it. So I used to feel I started doing spirit warrior stuff with that go. I'm sorry, I gotta drop what I'm doing with that goes. I gotta do spirit warrior stuff with them where shamanic practices were also worth the time to me. Where I learned manifestation techniques where I can do spirit warrior. Responses are required with that spirit. I thought I just saw, and extraterrestrials with technologies advanced as transdimensional stagecraft can act on that area of the space-time continuum that intersects with what we understand as spirit. And for them, it can be as simple as, I think it's going to be as simple for them as like I push a button and then the spirit's gone. And that's an amazingly advanced level of technology. I mean, I think the possibilities for that technology, and I go, how that could improve the future, as opposed to something like the Black Monks program, which is clearly underregulated. I can say, if something was underregulated in our government today that I experienced today, it was the Black Monks program of the NSA's Blue Moon Group, and I cannot underemphasize that. I don't want to go on. I don't want to go on at length about that because. Spirit's too important of a topic. I don't know what I would have done in this experience without discovering connection with spirit. And I'm definitely not ready to join. I definitely don't feel ready to join the here we go with joining the Druid Christians and what that means, because certainly with Christian witchcraft practitioners, I'm gonna run right into the Golden Dawn in my mind, where they're doing Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. I hesitate to even mention them right now, where they're going to do something like witch magic, and they spell it out all over the place with their logo. Yeah, and there I go. I started getting the Star Wars music in my mind again. I still remember the score from Episode 4, and I'm starting to bring Star Wars and Dr. Greer into the same talk. Because so if you ever encounter what seemed to be an extraterrestrial who said that they were non-human personnel of Groom Lake or something of that nature, I hope you listen to them, because the non-human personnel of Groom Lake seem real to me. I wouldn't be surprised if insiders out there were correct. So I know, to be skeptical enough, I have to say that insiders claim this or that, but I just get the gut feeling that they're correct. I just know deep in my gut, and I've regretted it every time I've trusted my gut, I am certain. Yet the non-human personnel are out there. I'm certain they're with us, and they can't just be walking down the street because of the mass panic it would cause, because this is the response it would cause when they entered the timeline. Here we go with timelines and time stuff. That's maybe another video entirely, as I've gone on for half an hour here because I need to relax before bedtime, and I'm so wound up because I sensed a psychic presence that I associate with the NSA's Blue Moon Group that's enough to make me really wound up. I wanted to relax before bedtime. Don't know if I should do like a soothing bedtime. Sorry, I can't show my altar here. Like a soothing bedtime ritual where I get out. Working with healing crystals can be really great. I'm sorry it's something I wasn't introduced to. I'm here I go. I'm just grateful it's something that I found on my time. Grateful it's something that I found on my time as a connection with spirit, and I'm sorry about I'm really sorry about people who want to shame people in public. Like, I want you to be ashamed of your spiritual beliefs and not talk about them in public. Because that's a real person who's out there going, I want you to be ashamed of talking about these views in public because they don't all add up, and people are all crazy. You don't understand how I'm starting to understand now why in some psychiatrist diagnostics, I thought those were privileged beliefs in some psychiatrist diagnostics. I remember a professor who kind of was involved with my agnostic phase talking about And these shouldn't be privileged beliefs anymore. These shouldn't be privileged special beliefs, and psychiatrists should have to respond differently than they're required to by the law. Was what I think I thought I remember from certain lectures with not even agnostic, like a truly anti-theistic professor. And so, for people who are kind of turned off of mainstream religion in some way, shape, or form, please do look into alternate religious practices. I mean, there's a reason there's a reason they're sustained by people, is they're real to people, and you can have the real psychic experience of them. So I think I got off track. So how I first came into contact with spirits of the Druid Order was through this book, and Druid spirits began to appear to me when I began to learn about the Druidism from this book, because not every book on witchcraft also involves the Druids. So I don't know if I should end that here. I'm not going to call this one an incoherent rant on the Blue Moon group. Just an evening debriefing. We'll probably do an hour tomorrow about extraterrestrials and time travel. So here we go with being here we go. So peace out, YouTube. Peace out, and beware the Blue Moon group. Beware the Black Monks program at the Blue Moon group. Be very careful. Be very careful. The NSA's Blue Moon group. They're such a fun. The way they seem to be organized right now seems to be such a fundamental danger to our civil liberties, and I don't know if I don't know. I thought I saw one of the child spirits here just now. Some of the children here just now. I don't know if there's enough non-human personnel available in so the programs of Groom Lake, so Groom Lake personnel get involved because they're afraid of the size of the Black Monk. Here we go. Because they're afraid of the tools on the Black Monk. Here we go. There we go. I hope it's not a factor.